Down the left-hand side here, we've got all the different parts of the drum kit. We've got the bass drum. We've got a rim hit there for the snare drum. So that's the drum that's usually right in front of you. And you can hit the edge of it, and you get this kind of sound. You've got the snare there. Okay, and then we've got more toms. And generally, these are all the toms here. And generally, as you go lower, they get lower. So can you hear they gradually go up? And then we've got the hi-hat sounds here. So we've got a closed hi-hat. Got semi-open hi-hat. This is the cymbals to the left of you if you're playing the drums that you can control with a pedal, so depending on how open they are. So here's the semi-open hi-hat, and then here's the fully open hi-hat. There you go, you can hear the different sort of settings there. And then we've got two cymbals here. We've got one here, and that's your crash cymbal. It's the one where if you're changing section or you want it to be really loud, then that can often be used for that kind of effect. That's called the ride cymbal. Sometimes it replaces the hi-hat, and I'll show you a bit more about that. And that's a different bit. That's a different sound for the ride cymbal. As you can see here, the internal bit of the cymbal is highlighted. That means it's hitting the bell of the cymbal, which is a shorter sound. Whereas this, you can see the edge of the cymbal is highlighted, which means you're hitting it at the edge of the cymbal. So it's a more sustained sound. And then where would a drum kit be without the cowbell? Okay, so there's your different sounds. So this is our initial drum beat, but we don't want to just copy what I've done. So what we're going to do, first of all, is click Add a Track. I'm going to ask you to add instruments. Everything I teach you for adding it on an instrument track will teach you how to do it with a drum machine track. You actually have more flexibility if you use an instrument track as well. Drum machines generally deal with loops, so you're sort of fixed by what the loops can do, whereas instruments enables you to edit it as you go. So we're going to click that now. That's loaded in. I'm now going to click on instrument down the bottom left, and where it says piano, we obviously want to change that to a drum kit. So we've done that now. You can see the image has changed, and now I'm going to click on MIDI editor here. Now, MIDI editor, we can use that if we're altering the notes for a piano, guitar, stringed instruments, anything really, but it's also used for drum kits as we've seen before. So I'm just going to scroll down, and we've got our familiar set of instruments down the left hand side. But now what I want you to focus your attention on is the top bar here. Now this shows you the beats in the bar. So you've got 1 there, that indicates that it's bar number 1. And then we've got bar number 2 starting here, and we want to focus on bar number 1. And you can see 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. That means that line is the first beat, this is the second beat down here, third beat, and fourth beat there. So if there were 4 beats in a bar, if I clap like this, those would be the lines of the beat, okay? We've then got more lines in between. So if we halve that again, a half of a beat is a quaver, so half a beat. So that would be that line there, and we can obviously use on the beat as well, and then half again there, 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 and there, and so on until we get to the next bar. Then we've also got another line in between that, and that actually separates into sixteenths. So that's semi-quavers, and they may be really useful to us later on. So that's the view we want before we start editing, and now we're going to start putting in our drum beat.